Hello and welcome to part 2 of Excel for LCA in particular. So we're going to run through the other key assignments for LCA. So in the key assignment, remember from part 1, it said we need to learn how to divide numbers in Excel or spreadsheets and Google Sheets, and multiply numbers and subtract numbers. So I'm going to show you how to do those. And also it wants us to know how to change currency on numbers too. So just put in 100 there. Okay, so to subtract numbers, we'll start with the easiest one. We'll work our way around it then. And just note that the website I showed you last time, my website, and when you go into ECDL, etc. If you go right down to the very bottom, there's loads of photographs on how to do all of this as well, using Excel, how to subtract, how to divide, but also more advanced stuff. So if you want to better yourself and learn more about Excel, you can do that. In other words, you have the access there. And you can also email me questions if you get stuck on something. Okay, so subtract. So the way to subtract numbers is simply, you might have a list of numbers. The easiest way is to use remember the auto sum feature we had before. So we need to go back into, we're in view at the moment to help zoom the screen. By the way, zoom is there and there if you want to make the screen bigger, down here if you're presenting to someone. Okay, so home then, we're back at the home screen. So these are the different tabs, you go into different layouts, etc. And certain stuff. So here's auto sum. So remember I showed you to click at the bottom square and then click and drag your way up. And if you click auto sum, obviously that's going to add them. Remember I showed you that in the last lesson. So in order to be able to subtract them, just click on that one, put in a little minus sign in there, and just change that. So we need to press an X there to get out of that problem. So that's something you could do yourselves as well. So if we put in minus again, but this time click the tick box. Now look what happens. So because you've clicked the tick box, it doesn't confuse Excel. Because Excel has a certain number of rules it follows. It's not just straightforward as you might like. But if you take 80 from 100, we know the answer is 20. Now, remember I showed you how to check the formulas in the background numbers. So there's no formula behind them. So it's used the formula to subtract this. So it's saying the sum, bracket, and it's saying L, because look, we're on L now, whereas before in the previous presentation, we were on A. So the column is called HI, so that's I, sorry. And you've got I3. So there's I2. So when you look across, look, it puts it into yellow for you. So that's I2. And this cell here is called I3. Okay? So it's using I2 and I3 to get 20. And that's the formula it's using. So if we were to, for example, do it again, okay? And this time, try and use formulas to find out the answer. Again, what would we do? Try and remember. We'd put in, first of all, an equal sign. And then next what we do is we'd put in the letter. So the letter is K, as you can see it in yellow. So K, where's the 100? K, what cell is that? That's K2, okay? And then we put in minus. On the keyboard, there's 2 minus buttons that you can use. And you're going to be taking that away then from K, it looks like 3, where I'm sitting anyway. So if you put in equals, also put in sum, yeah? So even though it's not adding, it's still doing a sum. In other words, it's doing something on the computer. So it's a calculation, in other words. Okay, so now we've put sum in up there. We've also put in K2 and K3. Okay, so let's see if this works. So let's click the tick, which means enter. Yay, we got 20. So that's another way of subtracting then using formulas. Okay, now let's try and multiply two numbers together using Excel. So go in there. We're going to try and multiply 10 by 10, and we should know 10 tens are 100 before we even begin. So let's see what formula I can show you for this. So because you can't click the auto sum for multiply, so you have to just know what the formula is. Okay, you can get averages there as well, count numbers, get the biggest number to the smallest number. So there's loads of automatic features you can use there. But if you want to just multiply, I suggest put in the equals again, and then in brackets, just simply go, what are the two cells you're trying to multiply? So that's H, it looks like, H2, yeah. Now there's a multiplication symbol over number 8 on my laptop, but if you, it should be similar on your own one. You're looking for a little star sign, which represents multiplication for computers. So H2 multiplied by H3, obviously, it's just underneath it. And when you look across, you can see H3, okay? And it's highlighted now H4 because it's wanting to give us the answer. So it's got the two boxes highlighted that we're multiplying. It's saying H2 multiplied by H3. We forgot to put in the brackets, so that's important. So, okay, let's see how this works out. So it should be 100, the answer. Yes, 100, that's great. Okay, so now we've learned how to multiply numbers using Excel. Now, finally, we'll try and learn how to divide two numbers. So try and think now how you might go about that using the logic of the previous examples that I've given you. Okay, have a think for a few seconds. So we first put in what? Yes, the equals. I'll start with the equals. Next, then what we put in? We put in brackets. And we're trying to divide two numbers. So what cells are we working with? That one I think looks like G2. Now we've highlighted that, and that gives you a good example actually to not do that, because that can disrupt the information. So we'll undo that. That's how you undo things in Excel. And we're going to put in G2. Okay. And now the divide symbol on my laptop is just below the question mark. So you just press it. You don't need the shift key to get to it. And so that's G2 divided by, let's see, G3. Close the brackets. See what happens. How many times would you say 50 goes into 100 on the top of your head? 2 times. So when you divide those two numbers together, it's 2. Because if you work in reverse, multiply 50 by 2, 2 50s give you 100. Get the idea? Again, if you have any questions, you can email me. But I think that's straightforward enough. Hopefully it's helpful. So next one. We've done divide, multiply, subtract. The other thing we were asked to do was to, in the key assignments, was to change the width of the columns. These are the columns, okay, all these ones across here, all the letters. And if you want to increase, you need to wait till that symbol pops up, and then that's how you increase the column, and that's how you decrease it. So you click and drag it, okay? But you wait for that symbol is the important thing. You got other symbols, that symbol highlights the whole column. And this symbol can be used to autofill things, yeah? Okay, so that's another one off our list. That's the width of the columns. Okay, another one then was currency, right? So we call it currency for the crack. We'll see what we can do in terms of putting currencies outside these. So let's click on the column itself and the symbols like that. Now we need to have a look around and see if we find something that says currencies. So look around here in the middle. We're in the home tab, right up here, and it says general here. Let's have a look here. There we go, currency. Okay, and the default is set to 100 euro, or sorry, not 100 euro, but it's set to the euro symbol. You can see it's automatically putting the euro symbol in there. Okay, now if we wanted to change the decimal places to make them bigger or smaller, there's bigger, there's smaller. If you don't have any at all, there you go. Okay, now if you want to change the currency that we're dealing with. So your business might operate in sterling. Just click English sterling rate. That's what it looks like. Again, change down those decimal places, so it's just the way you like to see it. Ireland also trades a lot with America, so you might also want the American symbol. Yeah, there it is there. Okay. And lastly, if you're dealing with China, for example, you get a funny symbol like that. Okay, so now I've shown you how to increase the width of columns. I've shown you how to set a column to a currency. So that any number you put in, then what's going to happen? The currency is going to pop up. Okay, because you're going to use that column for currencies. And then I've shown you how to change the currencies. This is up there. It's like a little money symbol, notes and coins. Okay, and you click the downwards arrow and it gives you loads of options. And there's more accounting formats even below then as well. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. Now, something fun. If you want to find out the amount of days that you are live on planet Earth, what you do is you just put in the date there, right, of your date of birth. No, sorry, let's put in today's date there. And then secondly, put in your date of birth, okay? And what you do then is you use the same idea, subtract the two dates from each other. Okay, you can do that. The computer can do it for you, yeah? So to calculate the amount of days from when you were born to today, right? So all you do is go equals A1, which is that's cell A1, that's A2, minus A2, and it'll give you, I got like 13,350. And let's see, what's today's date? Let's say the 27th of the 4th. Let's say 2020. And let's see where we're at. Wow, look at that. So 15,569. It's able to add it up as quickly as that. Okay, that's one of the things you can do. Other things you can do, now you don't need to do these. These are just extras for extension work, but what you need to know for your key assignments is the level we went to. If you want to go to a higher level and learn more, you can look at the different formulas I've put together. We're still on the spreadsheet called Excel Basic Examples. So if you were in a company at sales prices and you wanted to add the VAT and get the real price of the item, because a lot of companies, obviously businesses, have to pay VAT, I've showed you how to work it out there. And I've also done the same down here with a VAT rate of 0.2. And the VAT rate changes from year to year. So just be aware of that too. Okay, so, and then if formulas, if you can set up quizzes through Excel. So for example, I've put in a formula here. If C2 is equal to B2, so if C2 is equal to B2, so if the correct answer and the answer that the student gets is Dublin, that's yes, and then it'll add up the amount of yeses they got, and you'll be able to do an automated setup for your quiz. Yeah. Okay. Right, and then lastly, then, and importantly, your teachers might ask you to do a graph. Okay, and Excel is super for doing graphs on. So you can use this as a template. Just download the one that I've done, and then you can just adjust it, right? You can also change the type of graph that you're dealing with. So see the way I right click there, it says change the chart type. So you could do, say, bar charts or pie charts, whatever it is you want, yeah? But have a good play around with that, and you'll see all the different options. Okay, now if you were trying to show your teacher a cool presentation and show off some data, say we're looking at percentage of different elements in the air, you could go delete that and go, maybe that's going to be 30% nitrogen. So watch how it changes below, right? There, so 30%. Okay, now we'll bring this down to 20% for oxygen. And you'll see oxygen then is the 20% here, 30% was nitrogen, the grey is the carbon dioxide. So let's change the grey now to maybe 10%. And we'll change this to 70%. So it still adds up to 100%. Okay, so look how the carbon dioxide that you present has changed. So as you can see, it's quite easy, it does it itself. And again, you can use graphs that are already there, yeah, and just edit them. It's probably easy. You can find those in Google too. But yeah, we're playing around with that. Okay, well, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, again, you know where my email is. And yeah, thanks for your attention. Bye-bye.